Hi, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be trimming my hair, and I thought I would go through common trimming habits because I have heard a lot of people say that even though they trim their hair, that their hair stays the same length, or the other way around where they trim their hair but still damaged. And I thought I would just kind of go through some of the basic misconceptions that people might have, and yeah. But first, before we go into the habits, I want to talk about this one misconception that has gotten better now that time has gone by, but I don't know who started it, I don't know who did it, I don't know when it started, but whoever started it started a really bad misconception, which is trimming your hair helps your hair grow, or it helps your hair grow faster, and it doesn't. It doesn't, because your hair is basically not alive here. It's only alive here at the very where it starts to grow, and then it's just not alive anymore, if that makes sense. So trimming your hair does not affect growth, does not make it grow faster. The only way to make it grow faster is through scalp care, not trimming ends. But trimming ends does help other things like length retention, breakage reduction. It's a great preventive measure to keep your hair healthy and actually grow it longer. So the first bad habit is mechanical damage, which is basically when you cause friction on your hair, you brush your hair when it's wet, heat damage, all these things. I'm actually gonna show a way to prevent some of it. This is a 10. It's great. It really is a 10. I use this as a leave-in conditioner. It makes your hair silky, it makes it smooth, reduces damage, heat reduction, all these things. So yeah, anyways, damaging your hair when you're brushing it and you're being too coarse on it, or when it's wet, all of this causes your hair to become brittle. It makes you have to trim your hair more. So even though you feel like you're trimming it, your hair is healthy, if you don't reduce the damage, you're always going to have to trim more often, and your hair is just never going to grow. So it's not the fact that your hair is damaged or you have bad genetics, it's just the damage cannot outgrow the length that you want. Another habit I have seen people do is fear-based trimming. I don't know if anyone has had that. I definitely have. That's also why sometimes when you're trimming your hair, you over trim, and when you trim your hair, you kind of have to be a little strategic with it. So just trim what you need. Sometimes you might not even need a trim where it's an inch. Sometimes you might just need a little dusting, just a little tiny, a little trim instead of a crazy trim. Another habit that people do is when they see their hair taper, they think that their hair is damaged, but your hair is naturally supposed to have a taper, your hair naturally tapers, because if you think about it, every single strand on your head has a different growth phase. So not all of them are going to have the same phase where they're all just going to fall off. Because imagine if they were all on the same phase, that they would all basically fall off your hair, you're gonna go bald, and they're gonna all regrow at the same time. No. Of course, you're gonna have more density at the top, middle, and naturally you're gonna have a little less density towards the end. So that is not damage, that is just your hair naturally thinning or less dense at the bottom. And another habit that I have seen that's really common over the internet is that you need a schedule for your hair to trim your hair. There's a set schedule, you have to trim your hair at a specific time, every couple months. Your hair growth changes, the type of damage you encounter changes. Some days you might not be heat styling as much. All these things change, and so does your hair. So instead of cutting it on a schedule, I recommend cutting it whenever you see that your hair is not really doing well. It's not doing okay. Then at that point, I would recommend cutting your hair. So those are basically the habits I've seen that are common that I feel like might be a reason why your hair is not as long as you want it to be, and it can be easily fixed. And now I am going to trim my hair. I'm not gonna do a big trim because my hair is basically it's not that bad. That's how I usually cut my hair at home, because I don't like people cutting my hair because they cut off too much. I don't like that. So I usually put it down the middle, and then I put the front pieces behind my ears. And now I'm just gonna trim my hair. I'm making a mess. Okay, and now this is just the finished product. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and of course any support is appreciated. If it's a like, subscribe, share. Thank you guys.